right, Jesse on fire. Let's go. So yeah, I got caught up on what was going down on the Diddy trial. I missed a bunch of stuff, man. I was at a wedding this week, and I'm still at a wedding, or like I'm still in St. Louis. And man, it sounds like the Diddy trial has been sealed as of Friday. I was just reading and listening to people talk about the witness who testified the day that I missed, which, oh my God, he's cooked, dude. It's not, and it's crazy. It's not just what she said. It's the description that the people who are in the courtroom are giving of her testimony. It's like, it's over for this guy. Like, it's over. Everyone is saying, they're like, he's done. Every single person who was in the courtroom for this testimony is saying the exact same thing. They're like, there's literally any chance that he might have had is gone. Like, she was that compelling of a witness that he's finished. So we're gonna look at that. I'm gonna show you guys the stuff that I saw, what the what the reports I'm hearing are, etc. Yeah, dude. I feel like every time that I've had the eye on camera, I've said what happened. Like, I got headbutted at jiu-jitsu last Tuesday, and like immediately knew. I was like, oh, that's gonna be a black eye. I put arnica on it once and then forgot. I probably should have put on more. But what's funny though is when at the event that I was at, and by the way, anybody who watches this later, this is a live stream. Okay, like, look, check it out. This is yes, actually. The Macy Barber thing, I will tell you, I know 100% what happened, and I will tell you about that in a second. But so the first two nights, so we had the rehearsal dinner on Friday, and then the wedding last night, and both times I had Gabrielle put makeup over this because, like, I don't know. Well, I mean, either way, if I was going to a wedding, I would have done it. But like, my cousin married into like an extremely prominent family out here, like a really prominent family. Extraordinarily famous family. So like, well, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I should say who it is, but like a very, very, very famous person is the bride's father. And I'm like, Gabrielle, dude, you need to put something on this black eye. I can't walk into this fucking place with all these East Coast money guys and like, And so she put makeup over this, and like, so no one knew that I had a black eye. And then this morning at the farewell brunch, I forgot. And all of like my family's rolling up on me. Like, dude, they're like, what happened to your eye, dude? Did Gabrielle punch you? And I realized, I'm like, oh my God, bro. So like all these people who'd seen me for the last 2 days without a black eye, like, how would they not think that I got the black eye last night? And like, how the hell am I going to get a black eye last night unless like my wife punched me in the face, So yeah. But again, it was during a jiu-jitsu drill. I wasn't even sparring. It was like we were doing a drill and the dude headbutted me by accident. Spazzy white belts, man. Anyway, okay, so and on the Macy Barber thing, real quick, and then we'll we've been on for 3 minutes. Once we get to 5 minutes in, I'll start going into, because I'm gonna show you guys a bunch of stuff about this Diddy witness. So we'll give people another like 90 seconds to 2 minutes to get on. But simultaneously, I'll tell you, so when Macy Barber pulled out last night, or they reported that she had a seizure. For anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, the UFC last night, the main event. The first girl who was fighting in the main event goes into the octagon, and XJ-Tech, thank you so much, dude, for both Sounds Like Your Service and for the $20. You are a badass. I appreciate you, dude. Thank you. So blink twice if you need help. Okay, that's funny, dude. Anyway, so when the second girl was about to walk out, she just never walked out. And they were like, like the announcers are like, apparently she's not fighting. That's never happened before, ever. Like, there's never been a main event UFC fight where one of the fighters makes the walk and then the other person like pulls out of the fight. It's like literally never happened. So they said that she had a seizure, and I had heard some kind of like weird stuff about her personal life after the last fight. And so I immediately was like, this is bullshit. I didn't believe it. Like, I completely did not believe it at all. But, there are people like that I could poke around with who definitely know. And I talked to multiple people, and 100% it's real. She for real, she had a seizure for real, like certified 100%. So what's crazy about that is think about if that wouldn't have happened when it did, and she would have gone into the octagon, and like, let's say like Blanchfield takes her down and starts, going for a submission, and she has a seizure then. Like, what if she died in the octagon, like in a choke? It could have been an absolute catastrophe, man. But anyway, all right. So we've been in for 5 minutes. Let's rock and roll, dude. Okay. So the witness in question that apparently has completely sealed Diddy's fate is his former assistant, who's talking under the pseudonym Maya. And what's crazy is what the part that I heard from someone who was inside the courtroom that really was like, oh my God. First of all, the jurors were crying. Okay. Like the jurors that were watching were crying while she was telling the story. It's like, you see a juror cry while a witness is giving testimony, you can fucking mark on your chart that juror is voting guilty for sure. I mean, there's for sure. And the part that was crazy was when she was describing what he had done, because you have to be really like graphic and specific if you're going to testify in a criminal trial. It's like if someone tells you like, look, if someone's like confiding in you that they were the victim of like a sexual assault, I don't know, like I don't feel like it's super appropriate to like push them like, so what exactly happened? If they don't want to, if they want to tell you, they tell you. If it's like one of my daughters, that's a different thing. But like someone else, I mean, God fucking damn, let me knock on wood that never, ever fucking ever happens. But I'm just saying most of the time, I don't know, I wouldn't push them for like specific details, I don't think. But in a trial, they are going to be like, tell us exactly what happened. And apparently she was trying to explain that she had been laying in bed and he just came up and just, I'm more concerned about YouTube than my abilities, but like he just shoved himself in her mouth is basically the way that I can avoid getting filtered, is he just put it right in her mouth, dude, while she's like laying down asleep, like no whatever. And he had apparently raped her a couple other times, not like beat her up and held her down, but like, she was like frozen and she was afraid that if she said no, that he would like, fire her or whatever. Like she's like, but nonetheless, but while she was giving testimony, she couldn't say the words. Like as she was trying to like explain what happened, she kept breaking down and like, and that's when like all the jurors were crying. Like it was apparently like, if it was genuine, like if a girl is giving a genuine testimony or telling a genuine story and they're so traumatized by reliving it that they literally can't speak, that is going to be, I mean, it's going to be very impactful emotionally on the people who are watching. And if it was an act, she fucking pulled it off because the jurors were crying. So it doesn't sound like it was an act though. So, all right. So let's watch some of this stuff and then we'll talk more about it. But Diddy, he's finished, dude.
March 31st, 2011, at Diddy's Beverly Crest home in Los Angeles. Mia said she'd been awake for days. The stylist was gone, so she was the one tasked with laying out Diddy's workout clothes. And apparently, she didn't do so good, and he snapped. Mia told the jury that she couldn't remember the exact details, but that there was yelling, there was swearing, and that, quote, something violent happened, though the trauma had blurred her memory. An earlier email was shown to the jury from March 25th, 2011, where Mia joked to James Cruz that another staffer was currently firing her. But on the stand, Mia said it wasn't funny anymore. She testified that her infraction was that she'd simply overslept, that she was running on fumes, that she was terrified of getting fired, or worse. In a message to D-Rock, she described Diddy as, quote, psycho and mean. And she said he'd gone batshit crazy.
That's not a crime.
Over the missing workout clothes.
This is all irrelevant. I don't know why they talk about all this stuff, dude. I don't understand. I mean, I do, I guess. They're like, look at what an asshole this guy is, because ultimately smart attorneys know that jurors are going to make a decision less on like, hey, can we prove this? And like, if they fucking hate this guy, they're going to bury him, dude. Like straight up. But this whole talk track, like if you're going to cover this, I hadn't seen this one yet. It's like, if you're going to cover this as like a journalist, why the fuck are we talking about, oh, she was scared she's going to get fired because she brought out the wrong clothes? Shit's irrelevant. Like, it's just irrelevant. I don't understand why they cover this stuff.
But the prosecution said the story goes back even further. They showed the jury an email from Diddy's head of HR suspending Mia for 5 days without pay. The official reason? Insubordination.
Irrelevant. If he's a shitty boss, quit. This shit does not matter. Why are they covering this? This shit's so dumb. This is why I don't watch these, like I like to show videos that I haven't seen so that I react exactly as I would, I am reacting exactly as I would because it's fucking stupid. Like that, it's dumb. Why the fuck are you covering that? Trump said he might think about pardoning Diddy, and 50 Cent said he'd reach out to Trump to stop that. There is no fucking way that Trump is going to pardon Diddy. I'll tell you that right now. Unless Diddy pulled off some way of backdooring such an enormous amount of money to Trump somehow that because if Trump is making decisions based on public popularity, which is certainly going to factor into anything that he does, if 90% of people are going to be like, what the fuck? There's no way he's going to do it. And I think that's exactly how people would feel about a Diddy pardon.
But Mia told the court that wasn't the truth. She said Diddy punished her arbitrarily because he could. But even then, Mia stayed with the company.
Irrelevant. All that entire fucking video is an absolute 100% waste of our time. Okay. That is like, we have this guy on trial for, we're going to put him in jail for life because he's a meanie. Like he's a mean boss. He's a mean boss. It's like, okay, yeah, that's relevant if you're in the jury, but you're like a fucking journalist, dude. You know what I mean? Like, do you understand what the stakes of what we're doing are? Right? Like, you understand that depending on the opinion of these people over here, this dude who is obviously a seemingly very, very, very evil person, but regardless, like if you believe in the justice system and the process that we all subscribe to, he's getting a trial and he's going to go prison forever, depending on this. And like the shit you're covering is he's a mean boss. Like, why would you even talk about that? It's fucking weird, man. All right. So, manipulation, stupid. Who cares?
Mia Combs' former assistant.
Where's the one where, okay. So like,
inserted it into plaintiff's vagina.
Now,
not the same case. Oh my God, I can't, dude. There's so much horse shit on the internet. I literally can't, dude. I'm just going to go to the one I watched.
Hear the testimony given today at the Diddy trial is sad. I'm a lawyer. I'm going to break it down. A witness testifying under the pseudonym Mia testified at length today about the abuse she suffered at the hands of Diddy when being his assistant. She testified he raped her twice at his house, SA'd her multiple times, one of the times being at his own 40th birthday party. Like others, she testified that she was afraid to speak up because Diddy would fire her, ruin her life, ruin her future, and somehow make it all seem like she was a bad person. Now, the part that's really going to hurt her credibility, and I think Diddy's team has a big opening to run through to argue that she's not credible, is she testified that, hey, I didn't know I should report this stuff to the police because the police doesn't see it. I didn't know that was a possibility. I think it's kind of very commonsensical that, hey, when bad things happen to you, if you want to hold that person accountable and it's a stop, that you should report it to the police. So I think they're going to use that against her, and I think it's really going to make her testimony almost not significant at all. She continues on the stand tomorrow. Really hard to hear the testimony given today at the Diddy trial. It was sad. I'm a lawyer. I'm going to break it down.
Okay, so that's one of the things that I'd seen. So like, there you go. That's a smart person, you guys. So like, I know the other person's face is more famous, but whoever does her show is retarded, and he is a smart person because he's talking about the criminal allegations that she's testifying about and not about stuff that literally like, oh, well, if that ends up being true, then I guess we could say that Diddy is a meanie. Wow, what a jerk. Bad boss. You're like, oh shit, he suspended her for 5 days for insubordination without pay. It's like, yeah, is it in her employment contract that he can, suspend her without pay for any reason that he deems fit? Yeah, it is. Okay, so what the fuck are we talking about? Like, call your HR department or quit the fucking job. Okay. Like, you want to get into an entertainment business? Okay. Like, some of these people are monsters. Quit. Especially he grapes you, right? Like, quit. I'm not, I'm not shaming her for I'm not like victim shaming her. I'm shaming these dimwits that cover the case like that. It's just all wasted air. And like, because not everybody understands the court process. So they're going around talking. It's not like it really matters what people are talking about kind of around town, but people are talking about all the wrong idiotic stuff. And I'm listening to it just like, oh my God, dude. Like, yeah, he's an asshole. Being an asshole is not a crime or a RICO predicate. Okay, so let's look at this though. All right, so this is very specific about about what he did. So let me just make sure. Let me back up and look at some of these some of your chats, you guys. They want Diddy to be a sacrificial lamb to cleanse Hollywood. Nah. No, he is in the throes of revenge, revenge. It is revenge for him betraying his handlers at BlackRock, who were like large shareholders in Diageo when he sued them and knocked the stock down $22 billion. Now, what's really crazy that I just learned is, check this out, dude. I did not realize this. Okay. Like, this is wild. Okay. So the Deborah Crew CEO. So I've now started to see a lot of channels. Well, like Valuetainment, like Patrick Bet David put out a video talking about why this is happening to Diddy. And he was talking about what I've been talking about for months about like why I think this happened. I haven't seen any other channels talk about it, but he, compounded solid information on what I was saying about the reason. Because he's like, do you know who the CEO of Diageo is? And it's Deborah Crew. Okay, so look at this. And by the way, anybody who's never heard me talk about this, Diddy was in a partnership with Diageo, which is the largest liquor distribution company in the world, which is like a $97 billion company. He was with them for like 17 years. They had paid him hundreds of millions of dollars through his Ciroc deal. He obviously was directly connected to the DNC and BlackRock and all these people because he garners influence over the black community, and what they care about there is about their votes, like votes. That's why he's out there, vote or die, right? Like they see him as a person who can galvanize the black community and control a lot of votes. So he's really important to them. He's one of their guys. So they make him very wealthy with, these different things. But like being worth $1 billion, you're powerful compared to like a person like me or you guys or like even other celebrities or whatever. But like compared to those guys, you're the same as us. Like Diddy to them is the same as me. There is no, or any other person. They can crush anyone. Diddy is not even remotely on the level where he can fuck with them unless he's just not. Even if he has blackmail material on people, he has it on entertainers. These guys are the fucking masters of the universe. They control trillions of dollars, BlackRock and Vanguard. So but check this out. Okay. So he sued them and the stock went down $22 billion in value, and he sued them, calling them racist. Like, racist, really? They're like, racist, after we paid you $700 million and went 50-50 on a fucking business with you that you put no money into, that we put all the money into. Your job was promoting it. You're not doing a good job promoting it. In addition to the fact that tequila's fucking gross, okay? De Leon's gross. It's shit tequila. And then you turn around and sue us, cost us $22 billion, and then we have to buy you out of your contract for $300 million or whatever they ended up paying him. And they're like, we'll fucking, he completely betrayed them, dude. But anyway, so the CEO is, and I didn't know this before, Deborah Ann Crew, and she was military, but which part of the military? Military intelligence. So she was in military intelligence, and then, where is it? Like, I don't know. Valuetainment reported on her intelligence community or her intelligence career. Bottom line is she comes from government intelligence. That's her background. Okay. And so she's the CEO of this company. Okay. Since 2018, Diddy sues them. They end up, settling with Diddy January of 2024. And at the end of March 2024, his fucking house is getting raided by Homeland Security. Oh, the CEO of the company that he betrayed and sued is military intelligence, and Homeland Security raids him, and he's facing life in prison 5 seconds later, literally within a couple months of them paying him off. I'm sure that's unconnected. You know what I mean? And I applaud her for that, dude. She's a gangster. I'm not throwing her under the bus at all. I'm saying, like, That's exactly what I would do. 100%. If I had a business partner who I had made that wealthy, you know, we had a good deal together. Your job was to promote the brand. You did a very good job and you were compensated more than fairly. Like anyone who's ever, any fucking company that's ever written me a check for any reason, I feel loyalty to. Any fucking company that had ever paid me $700 million for any reason, like they could fucking run over my dog. And there's nothing they could do where I'd be like, you know what, dude, you guys fuck with the wrong guy. It's like, fuck with the wrong, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? No. Of course they knew what he was up to. I'm saying, like, yes, for sure they knew. Like, or I mean, I don't know exactly, like, if they knew like exactly what he's up to. But the point is, like, okay, let me tell you what I would do if I'm them. The second that Diddy files that lawsuit claiming racism, I put PIs on him instantly. And I will put private investigators into every single aspect of his life. If I'm her, I'm going to be hitting up military intelligence. I'm going to be like, dig into this guy's fucking world, tap his phones, let me see his finances. I want every single thing that this guy has going on. Any former assistants, any former girlfriends, anything that he's ever done that we could bury him with criminally or just with his public image, bring it to me. Because all of that is leverage, dude. Like, it's all leverage. This is the game they're playing is fucking high level human chess. Okay. And again, like in the Epstein stuff, it's exactly the same thing. It's like, you know, oh yeah, hey, come out to the island, fucking, you know, put on some weird robe and then do whatever you want. There's no rules, dude. And everything's wired for sound so that when you go home, it's like, hey, Melinda, do you know what Bill was up to when he was on the island? And he's like, wait, don't tell Melinda. He's like, I warned you, dude. Now, I'll tell you one thing about that really quick is what I learned this weekend that I had not known previously was the timing of when Melinda first started talking to divorce lawyers against Bill Gates, and she's been very open about the fact that she divorced him because of his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. And when it first started, she was going public and she's like, you can ask Bill about the details. She's like, I am leaving him. I am not going to be anywhere near that disgusting man, Jeffrey Epstein, and Bill's relationship with him is 100% why I am leaving him and why I'm leaving the Gates Foundation. You can ask Bill anything beyond that. So I had never really thought about how she found out, really. Like, you know, I hadn't really entertained that, like, maybe Bill got done, you know, like maybe Bill got done. And the thing is, the timing of that coincides almost exactly with when Jeffrey Epstein was in prison, like was on the inside, like when he was locked up. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, if you've got yourself in a pickle like that, first of all, the way that you survive for 30 years blackmailing the most powerful people in the world is very simple. They all have to know that if anything happens to you, there is someone else out there that they don't know who, or some other, you know, way that this happens where all of the material gets released, which means they will personally, for sure, get buried. It's like, you fucked a kid, dude. Guess what, dude? Anything happens to me, everyone knows about that, you know? And so all of a sudden, all these people, it's actually your health and well-being becomes their top priority, along with saying yes to anything that you ask. So, like, how could a guy who has that level of, it's the only way that you can survive that long. How can a guy with leverage like that end up in prison with no way to get out except for going through trial and hoping that he gets out? Like, I've always been like, he's probably alive, dude. Because how he'd be dead if you could just kill him. And why would he kill himself if he could just get out of jail playing his like final hand, you know? And so my theory now, which has absolutely no backing whatsoever with evidence, none, aside from the fact that because those two, you know, things line up so closely that he, you know, Epstein, kills himself or whatever. And when Melinda is like, maybe he fucking did Gates, dude. Like maybe he did Gates to make an example. And he's like, because it's like, hey, ask Melinda Gates whether I'm willing to do this or not. He does Bill because Bill's much less dangerous than some of these other guys in terms of having someone killed, at least maybe, you know, like there's probably other people. It's like you do them. He knows they're going to have him killed. Or maybe they just does Bill just to set the tone. It's like, if I'll do him, why on earth would you think that I'm bluffing about fucking doing you? You better get me out of here, dude. You better get me out of here. I did Bill Gates. I'll do you too. Get me the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Anyway, so But yeah, so that's a Diageo thing. Okay, so here's the story about the assistant. And so the ex-assistant who alleged Sean Diddy Combs raped her returns to the stand. The lows were low. Okay, so all right, so she testified that he physically and sexually assaulted her when she worked for him, returned to the stand Friday, faced questioning from his lawyer. So that's the thing. So she's getting under cross-examination. But again, when she was testifying, she was so emotional trying to describe the like sexual encounters that she like couldn't speak. Like she kept like breaking down, like she literally couldn't speak. The jurors were crying. So like if you're the defense, you have to be really cautious with how you question a person, you know, because all you're doing is trying to sway the opinion of the jury. And so if they have seen her like that and you go in there and start hammering her, like you may as well just like put a video on of Diddy raping her, you know, because like they're gonna hate you. Okay, so during her testimony Thursday, she alleged the rapper and producer assaulted her both physically and sexually on multiple occasions. He's thrown things at me. He's thrown me against the wall. He's thrown me into a pool. He's thrown an ice bucket on my head. He slammed my arm into the door, and he sexually assaulted me. She also recalled how Combs would sometimes treat her like a best friend or a working partner, and how at other times he treated her like a worthless piece of crap. Again, not relevant. Maybe the slammed her arm in the door, but like, okay. She felt trapped in the situation, the most shameful thing of her life, testifying tearfully in barely a whisper about how he raped her. Mia told the court that she was fearful of physical harm I didn't want to die or get hurt. I couldn't tell him no, like about a sandwich. She said, I couldn't tell him no about anything. There's no way I could tell him no because he would know that I thought that he would know I thought what he was doing was wrong and I would be a target. Mia testified that she feared that if she left or had been fired by Combs, that he would ruin my future. He probably would have. She left 17. Hang on. She left in 2017. Lawyer negotiated severance. She got $400,000 for unpaid. Yeah. Hold on. I'm trying to find like where they describe the actual incident itself. Because all the people who were in the courtroom were like, it was very challenging to listen to. Like, it was so gnarly. Because like just by default, because so many of these cases have turned out to be different than they were originally presented, you go in kind of skeptical. But like the second that you recognize that you're listening to a girl who's telling the truth about a sexual assault, that changes the experience completely. It's like, because like obviously women get sexually assaulted all the time. Like they really do, you know? And so as much as like Amber Heard, you know, or like all these people who have completely poisoned the well with fake assault charges because it was an easy way to flex power for a while, they poisoned the well because like that's the most monstrous part of them doing that, is because now when girls, the most fucking demented thing, the most selfish, psychotic, violent thing that you could do to a woman happened to them, and then they have to deal with people questioning whether they're telling the truth when they tell their story. Like that, just even saying those words out loud make me want to fucking take someone who's done that to a girl and fucking turn their head into jello, dude. But like, you know, if you're watching them and you can tell that it's genuine. They literally cannot even get the fucking words out. They can't get themselves to say the thing because they're so like, they have so much shame associated with it. It's like, I have zero sympathy for him at all if he gets buried under the jail. Okay, so she said he first sexually assaulted her. Oh, wait. During cross-examination about her social media posts during the time she worked for Combs, after she said she was first sexually assaulted, including photos she posted where she is seen posing next to the music mogul, captions calling him a mentor. Combs' lawyers also asked about her communications with her then boss, in which she praised him, calling him an inspiration. That's the best you got, dude. That's the fucking best you got. That because she stayed in the job, which she's already explained why she stayed there, because on social media posts where she's promoting herself and her ability to potentially move, navigate throughout the industry and have credibility, she called him a mentor or an inspiration. That's the fucking best you got? Because that sounds pretty fucking generic to me for someone who is still in that situation. And so they say, why would you promote the person who has stolen your happiness in life? Combs' lawyer asked Mia in reference to her post on social media. Mia testified that during her time working for Combs, the highs were highs and the lows were low. She told the court that Instagram was a place to show how great your life was, even if it was not true. Obviously, that's a fact. And said she didn't want her family to know what she was going through. During cross-examination, a lawyer for Combs also suggested that Mia had fabricated her allegations of sexual assault. Everything I've said in this courtroom is true. She responded, I have not lied to anyone. I mean, hey, who am I more inclined to believe? Like Diddy, who has 100 civil fucking cases against him right now of people reporting similar things. Like, I'm sure, I might even think the majority of those cases might not be true or be embellished or whatever. But you think all of them are fake? Every single one of them? Be a fucking break, dude. Rico, thank you for the $1, dude. I appreciate you. Greg, what's up, dude? Remember that time Diddy assaulted us with a remote control? I was in Milan. He had a gun. Mr. and Mrs. Macron were there. They were there because they have to be taller than 5 feet. You remember? Yeah, dude. That's a perfect example of a case that was complete and utter fucking horseshit. The stupidest thing ever. That the remote control case in Orinda, California is about as believable as if I told you that, like, fucking, I can't think of something less believable than that story when you actually read it. It's so dumb. Lewis, thank you very much for the super chat, dude. Ruiz, what's up, man? Just have you heard of the island? Goree is a tourist destination for the Epstein types, the small population of islanders there defended. I have no, I haven't. I don't know anything about it. But anything related to Kitty Diddler vacations, I believe. I can't remember what city it is. I think maybe it's Bangkok, but I've heard people who have like vacationed there. They're like, dude, it's fucking crazy. Like, these guys will be walking down the street holding hands with like a 10-year-old because it's not illegal there. I'm like, wait, really? And they're like, yeah, dude. They'll just like walk around with them like it's normal. It's like, hey, what are their laws on me shattering people's teeth? Like, well, if fucking kids is legal, am I allowed to just beat the shit out of pedophiles that I run into on the street? Like, oh, you're just that brazen about it, dude? Like, you're just that brazen about it. Huh? You're just going to walk around walking a kid that you're about to go take to a hotel and bang. You're going to hold hands. Like, you're just going to hold hands out there. You're going to walk by me like, hey, I'm about to go fuck this kid and expect me not to fucking break your face. It's insane, dude. Be a bad idea for me to go there because I have about as much desire to end up in a foreign prison as I do fill in the blank metaphor with something I absolutely do not want ever. Man, every time I think about that, it just fucking pisses me off, dude. Little poor kid, like poor kids so fucking poor that they get put into that life, dude. Like, the way that they survive is they're handed off to demented overseas rich kitty diddlers, dude. And then they go over there and they're like, hey, man, you want some here? I'll feed you a sandwich if you let me defile your body. I'll fucking strangle these motherfuckers, dude. Okay. Hey, you don't go over there and like help, like, feed them, right? Like, you don't go over there and try to help people who are poor. You go over there to fuck them. These people, they're demons, dude. Like, not human. Not human. Should not be even looked at as human. A person who would do that, a person who would walk down the street holding hands with a kid, like, not human. Rules should be different. That kid can't afford to eat if he doesn't do this. And you're cool with that? That the way this kid survives is by pleasuring old, disgusting fucks like you. And you're down with that? Like, you don't want to just buy him a fucking meal and leave him alone instead? You fucking twisted, sick. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. You cannot threaten actual people with violence on YouTube. You can talk about hypothetical shit all the time. So Combs, okay, so I literally can't even think now. Combs has acknowledged a history of domestic violence, yada, yada, yada. Dude, where did I see the thing where they like described it specifically? Because it's like okay, here we go. Stop. I just froze. I didn't react. Okay, there we go. So, of course, Rolling Stone, the worst period, like the first article I actually wanted to read in Rolling Stone ever. And they're all, here, come subscribe. I'm like, oh, yeah. Hey, should I subscribe? So you should tell me about how there are lines outside the hospital because so many people are coming in to get monoclonal antibodies or whatever lying fucking horse shit you guys put in there. Tell me how Eric Clapton is a conspiracy theorist because he said that his hands were broken. Fucking rag of a piece of shit in periodical, dude. I wouldn't pay to read one of your articles if it was about me. Dude. Hold on. Oh, maybe I could look this up. Okay, bunk. Maybe that will help us. Here we go. All right. Okay, here we go. So, warning, this story details some readers will find distressing. I couldn't tell them no about a sandwich, couldn't tell them no about anything. Okay, so where is this dude? Like, I apologize for not having this queued up, you guys. I am very tired. Okay, here we go. So Mia once went to the holiday with the couple to Turks and Caicos. She told the court one late night on the trip, she said Miss Ventura ran into her locker room screaming that Mr. Combs was going to kill her. It was going to kill me, she said. They ran away and hid on the beach, she said. Also on that holiday, Mia testified that she and Miss Ventura had used a paddle board to go into the water to escape Mr. Combs, who was pacing back and forth on the beach. Before they knew it, the sky turned dark, portending a storm. I was trying to weigh if it was scarier to face Mother Nature or go back to Puff. I believe that story 100%. That sounds very true. And that's actually a good story because that is the threat of violence. That's why that is good context instead of he was a meanie head like the other stupid person was covering. He attacked her, cut her open her eyebrow when throwing her on a bed frame. Mia told the court she tried to jump on Mr. Combs' back, but he threw her against the wall. He was going to kill her. He was beating on Cassie so hard that his assistant that's that terrified of him jumped on his back because she thought he was going to kill her. She testified that she didn't report him because she believed Puff's authority was above the police. I'm sure it was, dude. That's not she works for him. You know what I mean? Like, she works for him, so she knows that's accurate. If someone dimes him like that, yeah, it's going to be inconvenient for him, but you think he doesn't have strings that he can pull to get to people? And it's especially if you've actually seen a person, not training, not whatever, snap and actually violently attack and beat a person in front of you, multiple people or multiple times, if that's a person you can't deal with physically, you're going to be absolutely fucking terrified of that person. You know what I mean? Absolutely terrified of that person. Okay, so she testified about multiple instances where she alleges that Mr. Combs sexually assaulted her, including one time where she woke up to him trying to grape her. That lines up. He's all gacked out on drugs and she's asleep. He's all, yeah, I'll just take it. It's the only one here. Fucking creep. Mia told the court that the assaults began early in her career working for Mr. Combs, including one night at his 40th birthday party, at the Plaza Hotel in New York City. She said he gave her 2 vodka shots that hit her very hard and kissed her and put his hand up her dress. Okay, well, okay. Are you implying that he drugged you with the vodka? I don't like this stuff. I don't like. It's are you saying that he drugged you, or are you just making it sound like that and also gave you 2 vodka shots? Did you take them? Are you a grown up? What the fuck are you talking about? him handing you a shot like that, give me a break. You can say no. Another night between the years, and he put his hand up her dress. Wait, that's the entirety of this story? Oh, that's the first time. Okay, so another night between 2009, 2010, while Mia was sleeping in a bunk bed at Mr. Combs' Los Angeles, she said she woke up to the weight of Mr. Combs on top of her. She was confused. She said Mr. Combs began to grape her. Dude, fuck this guy, man. I just froze. She said it was just very quick, but it felt like forever. Jesus, man. Like, bro, get like a, I don't even know what to do with that, dude. You just jump on your sleeping assistant, dude. You're, oh, she won't mind, dude. It's fine. Like, she's not human. Like, she works for me. She's not a person. Like, I'll just jump on her while she's sleeping and just, take it. Fucking psycho. Pressed by a prosecutor on why she did not say no when Mr. Combs assaulted her or go to the police, she said she feared what he would do. I knew his power. I knew his control over me, and I didn't want to lose everything I worked so hard for. Hey, I have a common sense fucking question. Why do you think that none of these people say anything about these super powerful people like Bill Cosby or fucking Harvey Weinstein, and then all of a sudden, as soon as people start reporting it, like a fucking 1,000 people come out? It's because they're all terrified to report them, because if they're by themselves and they don't have anyone else saying it, they'll destroy their lives. Like, this is not rocket science, dude. Of course they were fucking terrified of him. Of course she's terrified of him. She's his assistant, dude. Like, when you hear like, oh yeah, I'm blah, blah, blah's assistant, do you think like, wow, like somebody could be like, I'm Barack Obama's assistant. I'd be like, you're an assistant, like in the back of your head, you're like, oh, cool, you're an assistant. In reality, they probably have like tremendous influence, but it's like, oh, an executive assistant. Wow, that's cute. I know his power. I knew his control over me, and I didn't want to lose everything I worked so hard for. I'll give you a perfect example. I've talked about this story a million times. Okay. You guys watch my content, right? Like, what do you think I would do if someone sexually assaulted my wife in front of me? Okay. Because that actually happened. And I didn't do anything to the guy, because I was at a function with people. I was at a work function with people that I worked with on like a work bonus trip. And if I had fucking hit this guy, for 100% sure I would have gotten fired, and I couldn't get fired. I had fucking 3 kids and a wife. I just, or at the very least, I gave the guy a warning. If he would have done it again, I'd have fucking killed him. But like, he got a warning that no one ever would have fucking gotten, ever. I still think about it all the fucking time, dude. It was in 2019. I absolutely needed the job, and some fucking shitbag at the Four Seasons slid his fucking hands up Gabrielle's dress right in front of me. And then she jumped backwards, and I looked at him and then looked around, and I realized like the CEO of my company was in the fucking place. And I just looked at him. I was like, don't do that again. And he's like, I'm gay. I'm gay. It's like a game to him to like fucking probably because I look like I do. It's like a game to him to like bait a person like me and then play the I'm gay card. And it's like, Jesus, man, that is a fucking dangerous game with you. You could have been like, I'm gay. I would have fucking shattered his face. As sure as gravity exists, if that environment was any other environment, that guy's face is fucking shattered 1,000%, dude. I still want to fucking beat the shit out of that guy. It was fucking 6 years ago. And like her, it's the exact same situation. Like with mine, I didn't like the job. I just couldn't afford to lose it. Like I could not lose that job at that point. I couldn't lose it, dude. This guy was a wealthy homosexual who was in the Bahamas, who lived a life of he's probably some kind of weirdo borderline personality, who lived a life where he throws money at everything. And he's there by himself. Afterwards, he's talking shit to everybody. And it was just like, that's what does it for him, is like fucking with people and baiting them. And it's like, I don't think he fully grasps, like, you slid your like, you're a man. You slid your hand up my wife's dress in front of me. Like, there's no, man, every time I fucking think of that story, it infuriates me, dude. He didn't do it again, though. That's for goddamn sure. I get as like, you know, I don't think there was much question in his mind about what happened if he actually did it again. I was like, do not do that again. And he's like, I'm gay. I'm gay. It's like, that wouldn't have mattered, dude. Okay. That would not have mattered. Why am I in such a bad mood right now, dude? I think it's because I thought about those fucks in Bangkok, dude. Anyway, Mr. Combs also threatened to tell Miss Ventura, Mia's close friend, about the sexual encounters between them. After the alleged assault, Mia told the court she tried her best to pretend the most shameful thing in her life never happened. As for prosecutors, okay, so, dude, bottom line is everyone is saying that she was very, very believable. And if you think about like how the prosecution like structured this case, you know, like the way that they did, because they had Cassie up front, star witness, and then they saved this chick for, I think, I don't know how many more witnesses they have, but they save her, you know, to where, you know, they do the Kid Cudi thing, and all of this is all like everything they had done since Cassie was all supporting evidence related to the Cassie thing. And then they're like, oh, and by the way, if you thought that this is just about Cassie, here's this incredibly compelling little fucking waif who, you know, was this excited little flower who got this her dream job, and then this psychotic demon raped her when she was asleep. By the way, this little girl's asleep, and this entitled fuck thinks she's not human, so he can just go in there and just take what he wants from her, and then just go on life and not even think about it like that's normal. To fucking bury him under the jail, dude. Yeah. I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Okay. Like when I tell you like this dude's energy went from this to like this, okay. Like if you would have been standing next to me, you would have been like, oh, wow, Jesse, you really let him punk you. Like I looked at him in a way this like this, I just didn't attack him. You know, I didn't physically attack him. I just made it very fucking clear without even raising my voice, just looking at him and saying one sentence that he knew like, oh shit, never mind. However, in my opinion, that he had already gone over a line where in any other fucking situation, there would have been no talking. Like you slide your hand up my wife's dress intentionally in front of me. I mean, I don't live with those restrictions anymore, dude. Like I'm not living in a house that, you know, like I'm not supporting 3 children, like, and a wife on barely enough money to fucking cover our bills in California at the time. If I lost my job, we would have been fucked. That story, honestly, as much as it pisses me off, I should reframe and think about I should be proud of my ability to restrain myself when necessary, because I did, you know. I don't disagree. It's not racketeering, but in terms of like the RICO stuff, all they have to do is prove 2 predicates. That's it. I mean, I think it's kind of ridiculous, to be honest, but the law is they just have to prove 2 of them. 2 crimes, and suddenly it's a RICO. Like, I think the law is stupid, candidly. But like, if you see the list of things that they have him charged with, and all they have to do is convict him of 2, and boom, they've got him on RICO. It's like, he's cooked, dude. 2141. Thank you very much, dude. I appreciate you very much, guy. Oh, what's up? Thank you again, dude. Love the content. Screw the guy before seasons. Yeah, dude. I mean, you know, like how you like inherently know that there are some bad people who like win kind of at like this weird like money game at life. Like people who actually look at other people like flies that they can pull the wings off of, you know? And it's like they're like genuinely bad people who enjoy like torturing people. And it's like, and my dream is to see people like that get their comeuppance, but it's like, I'm not, not at the expense of, like, believe me, if I would have hit that guy, there's no fucking way that Gabrielle would have been like, wow, I'm so glad you did that. Like, she would have, like, obviously every girl wants their dude to protect. I mean, she felt fucking protected. Like, she didn't walk away from that like, wow, you fucking let him punk me. Like, the guy completely fucking retreated. But like, if I would have hit him, I would have been unemployed. And I mean, yeah, there's just, it is what it is. Diddy hurts who he can. Real tough people, industry like 50 show how soft he is. Diddy swings. He lives in the idea they won't swing back. What's happening if he gets slept? Cassie will call the cops on you for Diddy. Dude, I think that's not a good read on Diddy. I think Diddy would always show a good face publicly. Like he's all la, 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 la. And behind the scenes, that guy's a monster. That like he's very dangerous. However, my read on him is that guy is built out of all fire and no restraint. Like I have much less respect for a person who can't control themselves, you know, like Diddy's a guy who can't control himself. Like if he gets mad at a person, he'll just grab a champagne bottle and hit him in the face with it, you know, or like do whatever, which is like instant, like, rah, you know, because he has not had to learn to do that because he hasn't faced any like real repercussions throughout his life. But like 50 and Jay-Z, those guys will fucking be like, all right. And you, if you understood how those guys operate, will already know you would prefer that they just hit you with a champagne bottle because they are gonna fucking come after your life. Like they're gonna destroy your life. You know, if you really cross them for real, 50's a long-term guy. Like you do not want him as an enemy, dude, at all. Jay-Z, same thing. So like a person who can fucking keep it in and then go get him on your terms. Because what happens if you hit a guy with a champagne bottle? You get caught. You get fucking caught, dude. You know, okay, cool. I hurt this guy. Now he sues me. I get arrested, go to jail. You know, like, all right, cool. Did I win that? I lost because I couldn't control myself and wait until I could control how that all happened. You know what I mean? So Diddy's like a spaz. He's like a fire spaz. But anyway, thanks for taking time out of your special event weekend to bring this. Oh, dude, I love doing this. You're welcome, dude. This is like my favorite thing in the world. I didn't think so. I mean, dude, I thought he was going to get off also, but I don't anymore. I don't anymore. Just based on what people are saying about now. Listen, at the end of the day, it's possible. Like these juries are super fucking unpredictable. You know what I mean? Like especially a case like this with Diddy, he's so famous. You don't know what a juror's predisposition is. I think a guilty needs to be unanimous too. It's like it's a tough hill to climb. But the visual of hysterical crying female witness telling a believable story. Like my point is people think that proving the case or whatever is what's actually going on. And at the end of the day, if a jury hates the fucking defendant, they're going to convict him. Bottom line. And having listened to like actual criminal attorneys go through this, every criminal attorney agrees he's going to get convicted. And it's because they're going through like they're like, dude, all they have to do is just prove 2 RICO predicates. And like one of them, like the Cassie, like, so my opinion on the Cassie thing is very straightforward. I don't believe she was a victim in the freak-offs at all. I don't believe her. Okay. I think she was willingly participating in those every single time. Now, sometimes Diddy spazzes out, you know, and then it's like, okay, now you guys get back to it. And that's super fucking weird. And that's kind of gray area. But in terms of her being like, hey, let's go do a freak off, I do not believe her at all, that she was not like, oh yeah, hey, let's go do a freak off. I don't believe her. Not even a little bit. But he absolutely beat the shit out of her. He like, she's a victim of domestic violence to the point where I'm telling you, like, if I'm on the jury, okay, I wouldn't even look at that fucking list. Like, that's what I'm telling you. It's like me as a juror, right? I would be like, they'd be like, oh, what's everybody voting? I'd be like, guilty. And they'd be like, you want to talk about it? I'd be like, sure. Well, like, what about this count? I'm like, he beat the fucking shit out of that girl 100 times. I know, right? But we're talking about this one. I'm like, yeah, I know. They're like, we're talking about the rape charge. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, well, I don't know if he proved that. I'm like, I've said what I'm going to say. Guilty. You know what I mean? They don't have to fucking explain themselves. But at the same time, you have someone on there, they're all not guilty. You're like, why? They're all, I just can't see Diddy doing a thing like that. I just can't see a Diddy doing a thing like that. And you're like, do you want to talk about the witness, whether you found them believable or not? Like, you know, hey, what did you think about this piece of evidence? They're all, I don't know. I don't know, man. I just can't see him doing that. He's winking at his family. He's blowing kisses to his family. Like, people are fucking retards. Okay. People are fucking retards. Okay. Now, let me just clarify what I mean. If I thought that he for sure did not like commit those crimes, I'm not going to convict him of that, dude. Like, I'm not going to, what I'm saying is, like, if he's beat the shit out of a girl 1,000 times, I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt when it's a he said, she said, and she says he violently assaulted her. It's like, well, I know for sure he violently assaults women all the time. So she says that he violently assaulted her. Why the fuck would I give him the benefit of the doubt when I know he does that all the time? He doesn't. How has he earned the benefit of the doubt? I have to decide who to believe. I have no choice. I have to choose one of them. I don't know her, but I know him. And I know he beats up women, and she's saying that he fucking beats her up, whatever. You know what I mean? So, like, that's my point. You have to choose one of you to believe someone. And it's like, like, how has he earned my faith if I have to believe his word when he's done all this stuff that you can verify? You know what I mean? That's my point. It's like, I don't need to, like, guilty, dude. Why would I not believe her? But again, I am a person who is a father of daughters. Okay. Like, it's not, that's what I'm saying. Like, each juror is their own individual person. I'm the father of daughters. You fucking hit a girl, I'm going to have a fucking serious problem with you. And you consistently hit every single woman that you are around. Like, dude, you're not going to get like, there's no world ever where you're going to get the benefit of the doubt with me ever. I will believe the girls. Like, of course I believe the girls. Why would I not believe the girls? You think I want to live in a world where, like, one of my daughters is like, he fucking broke my nose, and they're all, oh, come on, bitch. You know what I mean? But again, there's just as likely that there will be people who are like, oh my God, but Puff made all those amazing songs, man. Like, dude, think about how crushed he was when Biggie died, dude. You really think he would do this shit? Transporting prostitution over state lines and drug carrier is the others. All you need. Even Allen said, they are solid years in the cage. Oh, wait, even Allen? I'm sorry. I'm trying to read even Allen. Let me try to decipher this. Okay. Transporting prostitution over state lines, drug carrier is the others. Oh, is all you need. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So transporting prostitution over state lines and the drug carrier is all you need. You're saying as the two RICO charges. See, like, that's how I understand it also. I think it's stupid, for the record. Like, you should not be able to convict someone of a RICO because you got, like, think about it like this. Like, you need to think of like other, because the law is supposed to be applied regardless. So you're telling me that if, by some fucking miracle, I was able to convince Gabrielle, I'm like, look, what would be super hot, Gabrielle, is if we brought some $4,000 a night, absolutely beautiful Instagram hooker, and we'll pick her up in LA and we'll drive her to Vegas, and we'll have sex with her the whole weekend. And Gabby's like, you know what? I'm just going to have a personality transplant. I'm completely fucking down with that. Let's do it. I pick up this girl in LA. I pay her $4,000. I bring her and a bunch of drugs to Vegas, have sex with them. You should be able to convict me of a fucking RICO or a fucking racketeering charge. It's absurd. It makes no sense. Like, that's stupid. The law should not be that. You know what I mean? But I agree that is how I understand that it works. All right, I got to jump. You guys are the best. I got to get down under the personality translate. You can take that, dude. You absolutely can take that. No, I know. I completely understand that that's RICO. That's my point. Is like, I do think he's going to get convicted. I just think just being like kind of what I would consider to be low-level charges counting as two predicates that suddenly are RICO is dumb, is all I'm saying. I'm just going to assume you're trolling me, dude. Because if not, that's an insane fucking comment, dude. Battered women do what they're told. Thin line between Cassie allowing and abiding by the rules. If that's a serious comment, that's completely insane. But if it's a troll, that's really fucking funny. All right, I got to go. You guys are the best. Love you guys. Peace.